Hey YouTube, this is my first video on YouTube, right? My disclaimer, I'm no chef, just to begin with, right? But I do know how to cook, right? But today, we'll be dealing with this thing here. It's a tropical fruit, and it's called a breadfruit, right? The scientific name for this fruit, or the Latin name, is Artocarpus altilis, I think. I stand corrected. This is a starchy fruit on the inside. Have this fruit soaked properly when it's being roasted. We usually take a long knife and penetrate the heart of it, right? So from here, we usually push it through the heart of it just to ensure that it's being properly soaked, right? Because it can take a little while to roast or bake. Because this, I expect this to take maybe an hour, right? It's also a very stainy fruit, just to put that out there. So if this thing gets on your clothing, that clothing is probably done. Right, so here we go. I'll be making this, I'll be roasting this on medium heat, right? Because you don't want to burn it. Because if you put it on high, it probably just burn it and it's not soaked. So I'll be roasting it on medium heat. Right, so there we go. As I said, I've never done this on an electric stove before. So this is my first time. So wish me all the best. Alright, see you again soon. So I'm back, guys. I'll be preparing the saltfish, or the codfish as it is called here in Canada. Back home in Jamaica we call it saltfish, right? But here in Canada they call it codfish. My breadfruit is still here on the fire. I haven't even turned it yet. So the first side is still being roasted. So I'm gonna prep these. And today I'll be doing the cabbage, sweet pepper, or bell pepper, the regular spices, garlic, green onion or scallion, as we call it in Jamaica, scallion, thyme, onion, all-purpose seasoning, just for taste or flavor, and my go-to oil. This is a virgin coconut oil. This is what I like to use when I'm preparing my vegetables and stuff. It's just flavorful. When I'm using this, you can smell the coconut essence in it, right? It's just awesome. So I will be cutting a portion of the cabbage out. I will not be using all of this. This is too much, right? So I always like to wash my vegetables thoroughly, right? Because you try to get rid of all bacteria from the store or wherever or whatever there may be on it that can possibly cause some form of contamination, right? And you definitely don't want that in your system. So I always wash my stuff properly. Right. Where the saltfish is concerned, I'm going to soak this in some water first and then I boil it just to get rid of most of the salt in it. So I'll get back to this in a few. So I'm going to wash these thoroughly, right? And then I will show you guys how I prepare that. Alright, so I'll be back. So guys, I'm through cutting up my vegetables. Isn't this beautiful, eh? Just look at the presentation. It's just beautiful. So I'm going to put the saltfish to boil. So I'm going to wash it. Just salt from the surface. That's the most this can do. In order to get the salt from inside the meat, definitely has to be boiled. Alright, so I'm going to set this on. Just to get like maybe 90% of the salt out, because you don't want to be preparing this and it's salty, right? Salt isn't good. Too much sodium in your system is not good. So, and saltfish especially can be very salty. So you have to be very careful as to how you prepare this. All right. So just gonna put this on. Also an update, guys, I turned the breadfruit, see? So this is how it looks at this stage. So I'm going to turn this for the third time on another side. Wow. I didn't expect it to be this brown or roasted. As I said, I've never used an electric stove to roast the breadfruit before. So with the results, I'm pleased. I'm very pleased with the results. So I'm just waiting for that water to boil now with the saltfish in it. So I'm going to boil it a little, and from there I'll proceed with getting all this beautiful, healthy stuff here. This beautiful, healthy stuff on the fire, right? So you will see more of this. All right, guys? So see you soon. So the sawfish has been boiling for like 5 minutes now. Soon I'll be able to take it out and just put it in some cold water. And look at my breadfruit. It's looking beautiful, guys. It is looking beautiful. You can see the differential here, right? Over this side, you can see it has browned fairly well. And on this side, you can see that dark green underneath, right? So that's an indication that this part is not done. It's not soaked or anything. So when you're doing this, you just have to be patient. If I had like an open fire, this would have been easily done, right? I just throw it in and let the fire do its thing. But as I said, I've never done it on this type of stove before, and I just have to be patient. I don't want to spoil this up, right? So I'm just taking my time. But we're getting there. We're getting there, guys. Yes, we are. So the sawfish is finished boiling. So I'm gonna just put in a little bit more cold water, and whatever remnants of salt that's left on it, I think that should be enough to flavor the vegetable and stuff. So I'm not too much concerned about that. It's just gonna make the pot flavorful, right? So it's just gonna give it enough salt just to give it that taste, right? So just breaking it down. See, it just breaks down nicely. This is gonna be tasty, guys, believe me. I've been preparing this for many years, and I just always love the taste of it, especially when it's done like this. I prepare it other ways, and I actually like it as well, but as I said, I it's always a nice tasting meat, but as I said, you have to be very careful because it's very salty, and you can actually regret doing it if it's not done properly. So believe me. Okay, guys, so now I'm going to prepare my vegetable. So I'll be using 2 spoonfuls of the coconut oil on medium heat, right? So just the smell, as I told you earlier about, is just flavorful as it is. Just the oil, the scent of it just Oh, I just love it. That's all. So it's now on medium heat. Yep. So here we go. Beautiful, eh? So I will put in the garlic, just to have the garlic and the thyme, the scallion, the onion. Just to have all that in the pot, just to create that flavor, you know? Yep. Look at my breadfruit. I don't know if you guys can see this, but you can see that steam coming out of the top. The stem area right there, right? So, you know inside this is very hot, right? So I'm going to turn this now. It's almost coming down to its final lap. Maybe another 15 minutes. This will be all done. This smells great. It smells really, really good. So how I like my vegetable crunchy. I don't like it to be soft. I don't like it to be soft. So when I do all this, this is just to make sure that whenever I add my vegetables, they just need like a couple of seconds to a minute, 2 minutes, I guess, left to what type of vegetables you're using. Because for instance, I'm using the carrots, the cabbage. This is a chocho, right? Chayote, as they call it. Um, this is a little bit harder to prepare. So even though I could actually add it, right? Because you need it to be a little bit milder than the others, right? So I'm gonna add this so the steam can moisten it a little bit, you know. So after this is like, after the season is marinated in the oil, I will add just a little bit of water just to help with the cooking process of the chayote or the chocho as we know it back home in Jamaica. So but I'm just giving it a little bit more time, especially the spices. Just look at that, guys. Absolutely beautiful. Look at my breadfruit. Yep. Get in there. So I'm going to cover this just a little bit. Just to create that steam inside it, just to help, as I said, in the cooking process of the chocho, right? Chayote. Oh, I should add a little bit of water to it. Not much. I'm still gonna add some water after I put in the rest of the vegetables and stuff, but just for now, just a little bit. All right. So awesome. So I'll be adding my saltfish. So as I mentioned earlier, guys, what this is doing now, all that remaining salt will be cooked into the vegetables and stuff, right? So it gives it that added flavor, right? And additional to that, I will be putting like just a small amount of the all-purpose seasoning, the Maggi all-purpose seasoning, because it also adds a little bit more flavor. So not a lot, because as I said, the salt is already, a little bit of salt is left in the saltfish. Even though I've cooked it, I have soaked it in water afterwards, but it still has some amount of salt in it. So all my vegetables are now added, right? And everything. So I'm just gonna add just a little bit of the all-purpose seasoning. And as I said, my vegetable, I don't like it to be soft, so I like it crunchy, right? So I'll just keep this on medium heat. I'll be adding some water to it. So So I'll just allow this to simmer for maybe a couple of minutes until the vegetables are tender, right? So when the vegetables get a little tender, then that's perfect for me, right? And that's how my wife likes it too. So, yep. Happy wife, happy life. She must be hearing me somewhere there and laughing. Yep, but that's just beautiful, guys. So my vegetables, they're all done, right? All done. And look at it. It's just beautiful, right? Very crunchy. You can see that? It's not saggy. So when it's saggy, it's you can see that it's a little bit overcooked. I like it just crunchy, right? So just take it off the heat so it doesn't cook anymore. So that's done. And my breadfruit is almost done as well. Yep. Maybe just a few more minutes. But don't worry, guys, I'm gonna show you everything. All right? Everything. So the breadfruit has been roasted, and this is how it looks. So I'm just waiting for it to cool down so I can peel it, right? And peeling it meaning I remove the outer skin from the edible portion of it, right? So just give it a couple of minutes for it to cool down, because believe me, it is extremely hot at this moment. You don't want to put your hand on that to hold it, to peel it. Believe me, the steam inside alone will burn you. So that's the situation right now. So as soon as I get there, you'll be the first to see it. All right, guys, the moment of truth is here. The breadfruit is all done roasting, so I am about to peel it. Ah, I can't wait to see what it looks like and tastes like. So here we are. So woo. Look at this, guys. As I said, this is somewhat turned because I like it that way. It is actually sweeter, right? As you can see, woo, it's a little bit warm still, even though I left it for a couple of minutes to cool down. Wow, look at this, guys. Wow. Apparently it was bitten by bees or something. Usually we call it a bee's bite, right? So there's a spot on it that might not be edible. Woo. So this here is what they call the heart. And these little things around it, those are called the seeds, right? So from here, this is how the reproduction phase takes place, right? So when it falls from the tree, oftentimes when they're well ripe and they fall from the tree, they decay, and these little things called the seeds, they germinate, right? And produce new plants. So, but with this, I cut this out because this is no use to me. See? I do the same thing. Wow. So this one I'm going to cut it in two because, as I said, there's a section on it that I think was bitten by a bee. Probably not, but usually it tastes a little bit bitterish, right? So you don't want to eat that. So when it's roasted, if you're not careful, it's easily broken up, right? So I'm gonna cut it. Ooh, see what I'm talking about? It's broken. It's nice. This is very sweet. Wash my hands. So another way too, when it's roasted, if you don't want to eat everything at once, we usually put it down and we fry it in the morning to make breakfast. That's also very tasty. So we actually cut it in thinner slices and roast it, right? This goes well with ackee and saltfish. That is tasty. Um, so yes, there are different ways of preparing it. So yes, guys, this is it. So as you look at this, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a complete dish of the vegetables with it, just for you to see the presentation, right? So I'll get back to you soon, soon, soon. Don't go anywhere. This is a finished product of my roast breadfruit and vegetables. saltfish, and vegetables. And as I said earlier, this can be done in different ways, right? If I wanted to, I could have roasted the saltfish as well, or I could have soaked it first, and I could have also fried the saltfish. So, as I said, you can prepare this in all different ways. But this is how I decided I wanted to do it today. And this is a complete package, and it's tasty. Believe me. I don't know if it's because I roasted it on the electric stove or what, why the coloration of the breadfruit is like that, but there's nothing wrong with it. It is still sweet and tasty. So that's it, guys. So if you like my video, you're not obligated to, but if you want, you can like, share, comment, subscribe. It doesn't hurt, I guess. So until next time, guys, I'll be coming to you with a different content from the kitchen. I can be mixing stuff up, I don't know. But thank you for watching, and you have a blessed day.